Righty, morning, welcome back to NZ Moper Outlaw Customs. So on this video we're gonna carry on tackling this poor old Falcon here and see if we can get this piece filled on the side. I'll turn the camera in a second, and then we'll try and get these door post or the windscreen post pieces fixed. The piece here and another piece in the same sort of position on the other side, and then I guess we'll have a quick clean up on the other side at the bottom and see what that's like and go from there. He doesn't want to spend any more than a certain amount of money, so by the time I get this done, get those done, it's probably enough there for another, I don't know, couple of 3 days work, borderline, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we'll hook into this. I think the first thing we'll do is we'll get a rough pattern made for this, and we'll make this. So we need a lip that runs down here, and then obviously we've got this piece. So I think what I'll do is I'll just grab a bit of scrap. I'll throw actually I might grab one of the dies off the bead roll, and we'll come down here, see if we can get one that's going to fit this step, and see if we can get that close, because it's got a bit of curve to it, so it's not dead straight, if you know what I mean. If it was dead straight, I'll just fold it, but we'll see. We might make we might make a tape pattern from the other side, and then we can just flip it, and where's my roller tapers? Here. So you will quickly make a tape pattern off the other side, and yeah, then we can flip it and then we can see the shape, and then it won't be hard to bend up, and then it's pretty easy to add a flange to the back. Alright, so there's our tape pattern. So this heavy black line is kind of where it rolls around the edge. So this is still sort of right on the edge. So when I do the bead roll, I've got to make sure I just do it where it comes across the flat. I was just going to do it just slightly inside that black line where it steps, and this is just a rough guide of where the outside is. So yeah, and I don't know how much I need. You know, I probably don't need all of this, but we'll just make it longish. So yeah, that's an easy way to do a pattern. It's, you know, a bit of masking tape and over even the opposite area, if it's, you know, if it's the same shape, and mark it out, and then you can pull it off and just make it reverse, if you know what I mean. Alright, so we've got our start of our piece. We need to now start folding that flange around so I can obviously get it in there and test fit it in there, and then see where it needs to be trimmed off at the top. And then also I can just double check whether I need to put any more step into it. So we'll start folding that edge around, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we've got a bit of a, I think, because that's curved, it's trying to pull a bit of curve, I might have to shrink that. I'm just not 100% sure whether this is dead straight down here or not, or what the deal is. Yeah, no, it needs to straighten it. It needs to go the other way. It needs to be pinched in until it's got a little bit of radius on it. What I may do is get my might just get the profile gauge and just sit in there and just get that rough shape. Stand in there. Yes, it's definitely not flat. Oh, I'll put you down. I cannot do it. Let's put the one in. Alright. So it's definitely not straight. So what we'll do now, right at this bottom here, the piece I've got with that piece on the top is the top. I know that piece is the bottom. So as long as we can get it to fit this profile here, then we shrink it. So instead of sitting like that, it's got to basically be the other way. So I'll pull this bit of tape off. We don't need that on there anymore. I'll just have it back. So we need to shrink this. If they're wild, just a wee bit of pressure on here and just see if we can just, I might have to do this 2 or 3 times, just list a little bit. Now it's kind of flattening out now. Yeah, a bit more yet. Yeah, so we've kind of flattened it. Just needs a bit more. It's easy to go too far with these things if you just, you know, really jump on the pedal. A lot different if you want to move it a lot, but if you don't want to move it a lot and just want to start putting a gentle curve in it. See, we're almost too much of that in now. We'll go with that for a start. All right, so we look, see if that fits what we want. Yeah, we might have to do a bit more work here yet too. But let's have a look. It's miles away. Why is it so different? Maybe because I've got way too much material up there anyway. Okay. Didn't think there was that much different side to side, but maybe that pulled in when I was welding it. Right, just to zoom out a little bit. So what I've done is I just cut a wee bit off the bottom, like, I don't know, 10 mil, so I just roll the ends to see if we can get a bit of shape in here. Which I think will work, because I've got a little seam sealer to put down there. I need to fold this edge around more just to get it to sit right. And what do I want to do with this fucking thing? I'm going to get this off anyway. It wasn't the best idea. It wasn't the best idea because now I'm short. We'll roll it around and we'll see if it fits better. I need to clean some of that crap up here that I put on. I need to get the grinder out and just knock this couple bits of bird shit off there that I haven't freaking cleaned off very well. I was just trying to leave it there for a reference. Where this is meant to sit. So it needs cut off recently. Oh, I need to move in. Might be better off just to make another one and just refine it. Alright, I'm going to clean up here the grinder, just knock some shit off, which definitely helps. I've made my new bit from here. I still got to tuck, maybe I need to tuck this around a little bit more just to get it to sit in better. Not 100%, but I think if I can get this to fold around a little bit better, it'll be nicer, if you know what I mean. It hasn't got a sharp enough edge yet. And then I might be able to just bang a couple of Tet screws through here to get this to pull in, and then obviously get everything to sit where we want it. I was just looking at it from this position. I'm just standing back around with the cameras, and it's just, I'm not 100% happy, but I think I might just take that piece off. I'm not really going to remake it, but I'm just going to do a couple little tweaks to it and just see if I can get it a little bit better. Where it joins at the top part of that little triangle, but worst comes to worst, I can always put a little bit of weld down that edge and just build that up to get that profile a little better. But I just would like to put maybe a little cut at the bottom of the V, and then just stretch the outside flange to get it to tuck in, just a whisker, and then obviously when we weld it up, we can just weld it up and just give it a wee grind, and then obviously we can nick a little bit off that bottom edge. Yeah, I'm not 100% happy with it, if you know what I mean, but it's such a prick of a little piece to make. And I think, yeah, with just a little bit of weld, and, you know, by the time you put a bit of seam sealer and everything, I'm just trying to make it blend a little better than it is. I should probably even, to be honest, well, let me just run that, I don't know. I'd just like to pull this over a little bit. Maybe with that fat help that's down here, but it needs to come in here and out here, and I just, maybe if I wonder if I just split it, just pull it over and split it and pull it in, and it'll just fit a little nicer, and I can just weld it up, if you know what I mean. Alright, we've got that piece on there, so we'll have a look at this now. And I might just give it a wee bit further of a clean up here. I'm just going to poke my head on the inside and just have a wee nosy with that funny spot that I can feel, which feels like it's in behind this piece here. Yes, you can see it's got that weird patch in it. There you can see it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's just got a weird spot in the paint, which is, you know, like it's been, you know, filled up full of filler or something's just odd going on there. So if I clean it back and there's nothing going on, it's just got a dent or something there, we'll just leave it alone. But where will you look on the inside, because it does kind of feels like it could be just a like a piece in the panel, like in the inner, you know, in the between the panels, you know how sometimes you get, you know, well, yeah, like this piece, it might be just a bit like that, you know, where it's been hooked around something, but I don't know, we'll have a wee nosy, it might be fine. Like I can feel these holes here. It does feel kind of solid up there. We'll have a look and we'll make an assessment. We'll grind that off just in case there's a wee bit of rot, and then we can put a patch in there or something. Yeah, again, like this guy might end up, you know, coming back later on. We'll do it maybe a bit more, you know, at some point. We're just trying to get it as solid as we can, so hopefully you can get it, that motor signed off. We can't leave the rust in there because that'll go against it, if you know what I mean. Alrighty, so I'm kind of getting there with this piece. I got it roughly shaped in. The biggest problem is this fucking corner here. So I think what I actually might do is start tacking it on down here and then start pulling it in here. And what I might have to do, to be honest, like this doesn't really matter if it's like this, I guess, but I might just cut this and flatten it back off so it meets up with this panel better instead of having this big kick in it. It's not going to matter a shit. I've cleaned away a bit of material down in here a wee bit further. I've got plenty to come down in here. Like I can always, I don't know, I'll have to probably maybe tack it in there in a couple of spots and then work out where I need to trim it, just to get a better idea. But yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to have to do, is just cut this through here and then sort of just hammer those two bits back, and then maybe just have to slice, you know, a wee bit extra meat off one or the other, and then just weld it and grind it up and clean it up. Right, so we are getting there with this panel. We just basically just took the rough length, the rough depth, folded a flange underneath about 15mm deep, and then just held it up there and traced it off around obviously the wheel arch and that front edge of the door jamb. So yeah, we're not too far away. It needs a little tweaking. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna, it's too high obviously, but I haven't decided whether I'm gonna clean up the old lip off. I probably will. I just think it's gonna be easier, but just to plug weld and then seam, and obviously see if we can get some plug welds in the bottom before we pull it up. I'm hoping to do it that way. Otherwise I'm going to have to weld it along there, and I don't want to do that because then it doesn't look factory. So yeah, we're just in the midst of obviously going to tighten up these edges and whatever. You know, you can square that up a little bit with body filler, but I'd rather get it reasonably crisp. With the hammer and dolly, we're just getting it roughed in, making sure it fits. I've got to get, it's a little bit too much round in there. If I could sharpen it up, I think that panel will go that way a little bit. And obviously too, because I haven't got that outside edge off, the panel will go that way, just to here. But it's fitting pretty reasonable for a start off. Like, we haven't shaped it. I actually noticed there's a frickin' dent in the panel. I mean, it must have been when I was clamping the vice, hammering the edge over. It's frickin' got a couple of dents in it. So I might have just to roll it a little bit in the English wheel, see if I can knock the rest of them out. Like, we'll put body filler down there, that's alright, you know, we skim. We're going to have to do that with the joint anyway, so. But yeah, we'll try and knock that out a little bit. And obviously we'll have to put a little bit of shrink in that edge, and we might have to stretch that one. It's sitting a wee bit far out that way too, so. Kind of hard to tell, I've got it pulled in at the moment, but that probably needs rolled around there a little bit cleaner, tighter, if we do cut that off. As you can see, just it needs a little bit more here, but I think if we get to hammer that a bit square, that'll grow that way. Need to sort of hammer it up about here, just to square it out, and then pull that across, and also we can trim it and muck around with it too as well before we get that far. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head
Alrighty,
high.
put a dual screen action. So I need to go buy some more of these. I use them a lot to screw stuff on, but I'm basically out of anything that's good. And what I want to try and do is tech screw that on in a few places, and then see if I can pull it up and tech screw it through in a couple of spots on each side to see if it's possible, see if it'll work properly, and see if it'll work. Because what I want to do is go along and plug wet it from over top, if I can, if this tech screw thing will work. If I can put, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 down the bottom, screws in there, and then pull it up and see if it'll work. And then if that works, and then I'll basically plug wet it once I've obviously prepped everything, plug wet it across the bottom, and then pull it up, put a couple of tech screws in, plug wet the other bits, then I can trim it to fit through here, because it's basically about level with here, so I can just come along and just cut it through here where that butt joints, because with that angle that I've got in there at the moment, it's not quite steep enough. I've only broke it about 90, whereas it needs to be a bit more than 90 degrees. So that sort of allows it to stick out. So once it's held down, when I push it across, it'll add the extra dimensions into it, so it'll change the height of this. So I don't want to cut it until I know exactly where it needs to be, and then I can just come along and we can just trim it a little bit below where it is now, and that piece there will fall out. We can even open it up, pull that piece out, and push it back in, and then weld the ends and whatever, if you know what I mean. I can put a couple of tech screws in each end, trim it, undo them, get the shit out of there, and then I can poke the magnet. I got a magnet down here. I can pull the bits out with if I need to, or whatever, and then we can tack it and weld it and whatever, and we should be good then. But I just want to obviously pull it up to check the shape and make sure I'm happy with how everything looks and sits and everything when it's actually pulled up properly. And I did roll it through the English wheel just a few times, just to put a wee bit of, not so the panel wasn't just dead flat. I have tweaked the end of it and curved it a little bit, and obviously I think I took some curve out of this end, but then I rolled it through the English wheel just to give the panel just a wee bit of shape, this way, because it's not dead flat. So the biggest problem is if you leave it dead flat, it'll want to sit very, very flat in the middle, and you end up with quite a low spot. But if you just put a wee bit of curve in it with an English wheel or something like that, or even just put it through a slip roller before you bent the ends up, if you put it through just a slip roller, just give it a wee bit of shape, and then bend the ends up, and then you can shrink and stretch it, and then it'll conform to whatever that you've put the slip through, as long as you haven't done it way over tight. But if you just put just genuine with a curve in it, it'll then, everything should match up pretty well, if you know what I mean. But then you can sit back and look at it and make sure it hasn't flattened off too much and all sorts of weird shit once we pulled it up and tighten it. We can, whatever. That's why I want to just tech screw with, half a dozen screws down the bottom, make sure the plan is going to work. Otherwise, I may have to come in from over top and pull the tank out of it, which is not ideal, just so I can weld through. I don't know if I can get through from the inside. I might be able to get through from in there, maybe. Oh, you don't know. I'm not sure if that's open enough through there. I'd have to have a decent look up in there. Possible that I could put my hand through from the side and get in there. I don't know whether that's open or fully sealed up or from the tank or not. But yeah, ideally it would be handy if we could just plug weld it and then pull it up. Anyway, I need some more tech screws, so I'll go do that, and then that might be the end of the day for me. I'll just see how things are panning out, how I fly. It's getting hot and sweaty in here. Man, there's some flies around. Anyway, I'll catch you later on. I'll go grab some screws, and then we'll work out what we're going to do from there. Right, morning, welcome back again. So we got pretty close yesterday to getting that new panel on. flick you around home so you can see. So that panel down there, we almost got close to that, but I run out of Tech screws, so I went and bought some of them. So yeah, hopefully this plan works to put some Tech screws in from the over top, and then see if we can get it to fold up, put some Tech screws in there to see if everything's going to fit and work, and then we can do the final trim at the top of where the two panels join, get a nice butt weld, and then if that all works, we'll pull obviously the ones out from the front and the wheel arch, fold that back, and then we'll get in there and we'll plug weld the rest of them, and then pull the Tech screws out, plug weld them, and then we'll flick a bit of that weld through and over top of whatever. I'll spray some weld through on the inside of the panel anyway before I put it in there, but once we've welded those pieces up, if I can get in there, I'll give them a quick wee spritz, and then hopefully that'll stop any rust, corrosion or whatever coming over time, if you know what I mean. We don't have those issues like they do in the US and other places where they frickin' squirt that salty frickin' briny shit on the roads to get rid of the snow and ice and shit. We don't have those issues here. Anyway, so we don't have those rust issues for rotting shit out like we do. Like once we get some decent rust protection, it'll be fine in here. You know, with that bit of weld through or whatever. So we'll see if we can get that screwed on. See if the plan's going to work so I can weld it from the inside before I push it up and screw it on properly, or weld it on properly. So we'll try the Tech screws, see if this plan's going to work, and then yeah, otherwise we'll have to work out a plan B. But I think it should. I don't think it should be too much of an issue. It's just a matter of just executing it and making it work. And then once we've got that cleaned up, we will then start looking at these last couple around the bottom of the windscreen. Oh, also, I was thinking of something else. Oh yeah, on the parts of the video yesterday, on this video, there was a weird thing going on with the camera, and it's got a couple of functions I don't really use, which is an AI thing, and I wonder if I was on that yesterday. I don't know. You'll see it was like focusing on me, and everything else was going blurry around me when I was in shot, which was really pissed me off. I don't know. Not much I can do about it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I've tapped me once or twice before, and I just wasn't quite sure what that function was, so I'll have a quick look through my settings and just make sure it's not thing. It's normally when, I don't think it does it on the front camera. I think it's more on the back camera with all the technology in it, and I just don't know why it did that yesterday. I just wonder if I was on the wrong, had flicked it onto the wrong setting for some reason. You know, when you're screwing around with shit, you might have clicked something but didn't realise. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. It's done, like I said, it's done it to me once or twice before, so I don't know. It's just one of those weird fucking things. Anyway, I'll see if hopefully the rest of the footage doesn't do it. I'll do a couple of short clips and then I'll just test it and just see if it's doing it. But it's weird, it doesn't, because you're on a small phone, it's hard to pick that up until you actually watch it on a fucking decent sized screen at home when you're editing. Anyway, we'll catch you later on, and yeah, we'll play with this. Oh, that little test clip, I guess, with screwing this panel on, seemed to be right when I play it back on my phone, so that's cool. Hopefully I've got the right fucking settings now. But anyway, we'll flick this around and we'll show you where we're at and what my kind of my plan is. Right, so we've got some screws in here. Now I can get down in there and weld that, no problems at all. Alright? But it's just whether I can get this to fold up properly, push up without being a major issue, if you know what I mean. That's my problem. I just don't know whether I'm going to be able to do it. I may have to bend that a bit more and make it a bit tighter and then pull this back and hold it back with something to be able to get it to push up without being a fucking major pain in the ass, if you know what I mean. That's where I'm heading with this next. It's like, that's fine, but this is I don't know, whatever it is, 18 gauge or 19 gauge, whatever it is. So it's reasonably solid. It's 1 mil. So yeah, it's just whether I can get this here, pull up to here. Like, that's fine at the ends, but it's in the middle. It's like, I don't want it to be causing like weird bows and shit down here, if you know what I mean. I may have to just bend it a bit more and then flex it out, because I can pull it out quite a bit, but it's to get it to come in, to be happy with what I'm doing, and but being able to get in there and burn those, all these spot welds in. I'll see if I can get it in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I may have to just make it a bit tighter and just kind of hold it back, maybe put a wee block of wood in there, you know, just as I go along and weld shit in. Just move the little block of wood just to help hold it out and then pull it up. This, you know, this is experimenting, trying to do weird shit that you don't normally have to do. I haven't struck an issue where I've had to weld something like this before, if you know what I mean. Normally, like, it's down on a pinch weld or something like that, or whatever, if you know what I mean. You don't normally strike things kind of this way. It's more of it's kind of a ute thing. I guess it's probably just depends on how they were put together. I don't know. Probably the outer skin was on first, and then the tanks probably weren't in there, and they could probably get in there and weld it. I don't know. I don't know how they did that. Or maybe the rocker and that kind of went on at the same time. Nah, kind of. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I just can't quite wrap my head around how they did that in the factory, if you know what I mean. But we've got to try and work it out. Not sure if this is enough yet. Let's see. Put that back in the hole. Overbeat it a little bit. A lot. Let's go tweak that some more. I did need to be greedy. I was going to go greedy and then I pulled it back a little bit. I should have left it greedy. Right, I'll try it this time. So I've moved it across quite a bit. And I just put a wee bit of gentle shake in here, because when you flatten it out, flattens shit out. Oh yeah, on the money now. On the money now. Awesome. Right, yeah, we're cooking with ass and gas there. Well, what we might do is put our tech screws in. That actually looks fucking good. Even the curve looks good. Fucking nailed that first time. I'll have to come back in here and just hammer this edge up a little bit better, but I think we'll put the tech screws back in there, pull this up, get a tech screw set in here, down this edge, and then we will trim our line. And I think what I might do is start here, but I have to creep up at this end fairly high. We'll just come along here. We'll cut these two pieces off and then we can drop that shit out of the road. Yeah, right, that looks good. Obviously we haven't trimmed anything off or whatever, but just general look down that. I'm pretty happy with how that fits. I put a couple extra screws in there because this is why I want that deeper fucking hole punch. You know, I can trim this off. It's obviously too much on there, but it's fine. And you know, we're still got to do a patch in there. You know, it's not too fucking worried about that at the moment. That's easy to fix it afterwards. But I'm pretty happy with how that fits. Pretty happy with how that fits. That looks good down there. And I'm happy with this line. Probably just give it a wee. We tap him down there. And once we get rid of the overlap, that'll pull the rest of that in nicely. Nah, fuck, that's good. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm pretty stoked with that. Pretty stoked with that. You know, I might just do a wee bit more hammer and dolling just on this edge, just see if we can crisp this up a touch. Obviously, when we do body filler and whatever, we can crisp it up a wee bit more. You know, just to make it look a wee bit more factory. But I'll just go around there and see if we can just tighten that edge up a little bit. Hammer and dolly, we'll do the same at front. Right, back to the old double view again. So I'm just done a final clean up and sort out in this. Put a bit of weld through on, clean that edge up so it'll hopefully will weld nicely. Actually, I just realised I missed that bit. All those sorts of things. So now I have been here. It's about 11 o'clock. I've been here. I didn't get here at 8. Unfortunately, just, you know, life gets in the fucking road. I think it was about 20 to 9. It might have been somewhere between 8:30 and 20 to 9. So I've been here 2.5 hours. And you know, I had that made yesterday, but I didn't have it finished. So to give you an idea, you know, I had that basically sorted, but I didn't have it fitted completely. So we've, you know, spent, you know, 2.5 hours ish. You know, we'll say 2, but closer to 2.5, probably somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours, getting this ready to fit, to weld on. You know, a little bit of manipulation around the edges to get it squared up, obviously getting it tech screwed on, trimming it, getting everything prepped and ready. People just don't quite understand, you know, oh, the panel's made, just put it on. Yeah, it's not like that. And unfortunately, you know, you'll get the panel made, yep, no, that fits good, right, okay, you'll, you know, a little bit of hammer work, a little bit of this, a little bit of clean up, a little of that. The next thing, 2.5 hours has gone by, you know, just sorting stuff out. So, you know, we hammered and dollied the edges, of trimmed stuff, you know, we've cut stuff off, you know, we've cleaned up in here, we've put some weld through in here, everywhere where it's needed. I might even give it another coat because, you know, the likelihood of getting back in there is, well, you know, you can, but you know what I mean, it's not that easy. So, you know, we may as well give it the best run as we can. So I might just throw another coat on here now that it is basically, it is pretty much dry. Give it one more just light coat, so this has got as much protection as it can get without obviously pulling tank out and those side access panels and trying to blow some sort of texture spray or something else down in there. I'll just give it another basically quick one. People just don't understand where the time goes. You know, you can be spend all that, you know, drilling, screwing, whatever, you know, and whatever, you know, it's at least a couple of hours fitting, tweaking, whatever, you know, hammering those edges and whatever. You know, I'll take the half an hour off because I'm sitting here waffling on the camera every now and again. But yeah, it's just, people just don't realise where the time goes. You know, you can have something, you know, 90% there, but it's that last little bit of fitment and whatever, and just hammering and shit to get things a little bit better, and a little bit extra trimming and cleaning stuff up, and the time just disappears. People just don't understand why it costs so fucking much. It's weird, you know. Like, I was actually watching, was it Kiwis Classics and Customs? There's a mate of Uncle Tony's, but he's actually Kiwi from here. Oh, I think he's up from originally up in the North Island, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. He was over here, I don't know, it might have been 12 months ago, it might have been a little bit less than that. He was over here for a holiday and he did a couple of videos on some New Zealand cars, and then he went back over to, obviously, he's back over in the US, and obviously where Uncle Tony is, I think, were they Nashville somewhere or something like that? I'm not 100% sure. But he was fitting up a rear quarter panel on a, one of the early Mustangs, like a 65 or a 66 or something like that. It's kind of not the full fastback like it's kind of that, almost got like a little boot, but not quite a boot sort of type thing. I'm not exactly sure the exact what they, because there's like the notchbacks and the coupes, and then there's the fastbacks. I think it's like what they call the coupe. He was putting a rear quarter panel on there, you know. You know, you can fit something a frickin' 100 times just to make sure everything fits properly, you know. Get all the edges right and make sure it fits the wheel arch and make sure it fits here and there, and, you know, and then you know, he was tech screwing shit on too. Like, I love tech screws. They're frickin' great for just fitting stuff on. So, but yeah, it's just amazing when the time runs away when you're trying to fit stuff up and just trying to get that last little piece so you get a really nice fit, and, you know, hopefully you don't have to. Yeah, you're still going to put a decent skim of body filler and knock the rest of it off, but just obviously, you know, to get rid of roll marks and any hammer marks and whatever else. But yeah, well, I'm not going to the I haven't got a planish. I need a planishing hammer at some point. You know, you could probably run over that a little bit and just really clean it up. But you know, we scooch it full of it doesn't really matter too much. You know, and a couple of coats of high board. But it's just people just don't realise the time it takes to fit shit up. You know, make a panel from. You know, like it's simple enough panel, but make it by hand. You know, to make sure it fits properly. Yeah, we'll give that another couple of minutes to let that dry, and then we'll start putting our screws in down the bottom, and we'll start plug welding it on. Alright, so you can see down in there, it's plug welded all the way along there. I don't know how many there is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 18 or whatever it is. Plug welds down there. So I will now squirt a bit of weld through down there just to help seal it up, and we'll just protect the welds mainly so they don't rust, whatever. Just, you know, seal the top to them. It'll just help stop, you know, corrosion starting and whatever. It is what it is. You know, maybe at some point, if he has the tank out and whatever, you know, you can get in there and spray a heap of texture, that coating and shit in there. But it's kind of just, it's not that easy. Like, I could have put it in around these other pieces where I've already done the repairs, but you're never ever going to get it back onto here successfully, if you know what I mean. But maybe if you have the tank out and those other side panels off, you might better get it in there and give it a decent dose afterwards, you know, at some point. But anyway, we will bang our texture screws back in the edges, and we'll carry on plugging her in. Alright, so that is all rough plug weld in. Like once I grind it back, you know, we'll better fill any arsehole bits. Obviously we're only tapping across here, and it's rough plug welded down there, and I've added a couple extras back up there because it was broken away. So I pulled one in between the two panels, pulled everything up, and then put an extra couple of Tech screws in so I could just move them around to get that all plug welded up tight. Like once we grind everything up and clean everything up, we'll go back over with the helmet on. I just burn them in pretty quick just to hold everything together and go from there. So yeah, that looks pretty sharp. And the little washers on the Tech screws just above where I got to join was fucking brilliant, for just holding everything into place. And I just worked my way across the panel basically until I got to this end to, you know, make sure it was all flat, and then, you know, we could just make sure I got this end dialed in before I went down the edges. You know, I got the two ends dialed in and tacked right at basically at the corners, you know, and made sure everything was sweet across here before I did the final little hammer around and got that wheel arch in. Like, that's still the original inner edge, but, you know, after we put that inner panel in, and that hadn't really moved, and then we ground the original outer off, and then we've put a new, yeah, it's all one edge again, so that's good. I'm liking that. Now we'll give it a final dress up, and we'll probably revisit those plug welds and whatever down the edges and shit like that, you know, if they need it. But yeah, it's on, you know, just got to finish welding it after lunch.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and fuck all the doubters, they're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need
Right,
to carry
for
on.
that hole there, I just put the step drill through it, just to clean it out. Now, I might try and see if I can find a socket. I'll just poke through it. This was close. And draw around it, trim it out with just a pair of snips, and just weld it in. Or I could just put a body plug in there. Worst comes to worst. It is what it is, if you know what I mean. That actually gives you, because the top of the sill's there, just above my finger. You know, it's as far as up I can push my finger in there. So there's actually a hole there too. So like you could try and just find a body plug and put in there, and that would actually allow you to help wash some shit out of the frickin' down there. But I'll see if I get a slightly smaller socket that'll fit in that and just draw around it and cut a hole and cut a circle, and we'll just weld it in. Right, so I found a socket that was very slightly smaller. Get on the stomp shear and just cut bits off. And we can just tickle that with a grinder. Right, that we tickle up with a grinder off the sanding disc, hold my magnet on there and weld it on. Hopefully that'll be spot on. Right, we just smeared some of that green shit in there too, just to help cover the fucking ugly welds in there. You know, I'll knock it down in a minute with the Rolex once it's set, and you know, blend it out and whatever, and give it a bit of a rip up in there, and then, you know, once, you know, at some point when they can put some texture frickin' shit in there, that'll hide that where I've done all those repairs. But it's better than whole. So yeah. Anyway, we will now have a bit of a sort out, a bit more of a sort out, and get myself sorted to start these. And we'll get into these, but we won't go too much further today because we're just about out of day. So again, you know, it's amazing where the fucking time disappears. Righty, I haven't showed what I was doing here. I just cut this piece out in here, so just got to make a basic patch to fit down in there. This is pretty solid. I run the end of the die grinder just across that. It's pretty solid, so we should have just weld that wee pinhole up and then grind it back in. And there's a bit of a funny spot in here which I ground out with the die grinder as well. Just, I could see there was a bit of a flaky edge there. It was starting to rust, so I just ground it away till it comes solid. So we'll just, I don't know, we'll either build that up with weld or whatever and grind it off and clean it up flat. So I'll go and over have a wee look at the other side. I'm not going to, I probably could build some patches, but I think I'll just build them in the morning. So I think what I'll do is I'll whip around the other side and we'll clean that area up to like this, and we'll spray a bit of, I gave it a wee blast with, obviously, with the wee gun, wherever my, doesn't matter, up there. That gun, give it that wee sandblast and get in there, really just clean up the worst, the scabby shit, and then just hit it with that rust convert, and then, you know, we'll clean it up and we'll blow some weld through primer and whatever and behind there and build a little patch. And but we might as well go open that up and have a look, because it's about, I don't know, about 4:30 now, so by the time we open that up and clean that up and whatever, it'll be 5 o'clock, and then we can just build the patches and weld them in the morning. May have to make just a little wee filler just to help fill the hole. Make just a bit of an odd shape piece and just sit it in there just to help fill the hole. Weld it up and grind it up. It's pretty solid, it's not too bad. That's fine. That's cool. That's a bit of a win. So yeah, oh well. I think I might call that a day, and tack it again in the morning. Throw, have a bit of a clean up, throw the wheels back on and whatever. Oh, I've got to go in there and grind that couple of hairies up. We'll do that in the morning. Yeah. Oh, look at that little hole to weld up there down there too. So that'll be easy enough to remember to do that too. So yeah, no, we're looking good. It's coming along. I'm super frickin' stoked with that repair. That's fucking come up really good. You know, scooch a filler around the edge of the wheel arch and whatever, because I see there's one that's a bit weird, just where it just kind of joins. It's got a bit of an odd shape there, but that's alright. It might be even better. Just even hit it with a couple of times with the hammer. It's almost got like a little bump there, but it is what it is. You know, we can deal with that later. And yeah, freaking stoked. Awesome. Oh well, we're just about there. It's just the other side to clean up now. Really, have a look at that same bottom piece. Just we'll give it a clean off and just see what they've done to repair, because I've seen it's had some bits fluffed around with. We'll just do a bit of an assessment and decide whether we're going to dive in and sort of do the same repair, or whether we just leave it, you know, just give it a clean up and leave it alone. We'll just see what it sort of looks like, if you know what I mean. Because if it has had some funny repeat welds sort of in there, like you can guarantee it's scabby and shitty down the bottom, and like sort of barely holding on along those plug welds and all sorts of stupid shit like that, if you know what I mean. We'll squirt some seam sealer in there too later on, and whatever. Yeah, we might even do it tomorrow or something like that. We'll just see how things pan out. Like, doesn't matter if this is around here for a couple of days, or we just do a couple of little bits and pieces like that. But yeah, I think we'll call it for the day. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and yeah, if this is the end of the video, we'll see you in the next one. If not, we'll see you in the morning. Thanks for watching.